are currently watching Mixie Duncan Bogle and her girlfriend Teresa Cox. Together, these two are on the run after committing a brutal double homicide, taking the life of an innocent couple. But through hundreds of hours of investigation, detectives will catch on to one of them.
I don't know anything and I don't want to waste your time. This is just not a good time to ask me things.
And what Mixie doesn't realize is just how much surveillance footage detectives have. Footage that will make what she thought was the perfect murder come crumbling down.
People that you thought were your friends are not your friends, and they're all singing like canaries. Everybody's pointing at you, Mixie. Everybody's pointing at you. I guarantee you that playing I don't know games is just gonna get you deeper in. Right now, you're screwing yourself, okay?
It was the early morning hours of November 14th, 2020, and Willard, Missouri police responded to reports of shots fired outside an apartment building. When they arrived, they found the bodies of two victims, 28-year-old Alex Shute and his girlfriend, 30-year-old Brianna Sproul, and Alex's daughter hiding inside. The couple had been shot multiple times on the front porch, and authorities soon suspected they'd been lured out by someone they knew. Security footage from a nearby police officer's house recorded audio of the shooting, 8 shots, the exact amount that Alex and Brianna had suffered. And within days, authorities had zeroed in on Teresa Cox, Alex's ex-wife, who he was having an ongoing and contentious custody battle with. And after searching her text messages and hearing witness statements, their suspicions were confirmed. But Teresa wasn't acting alone. In fact, she was nowhere near the scene, and texts made clear her friend and Pizza Hut co-worker, Duncan Mixie Bogle, was the one who pulled the trigger. Detectives spoke with their manager, Matthew Plum, who admitted to playing a role in the murderous plans. He allowed Teresa and Mixie to work that night for the sole purpose of giving them an alibi, and when Mixie returned from the shooting panicked and crying, they went on a drive to calm her down and dispose of the gun in a nearby creek. But while Matthew gave up easily, capturing Mixie and Teresa wouldn't prove so easy, and it would be over 3 weeks before U.S. Marshals caught up with them in San Francisco. They were transferred back to Missouri, and when Mixie's brought in for questioning, she'll try everything she can to get away with murder, despite every piece of evidence pointing directly at her.
Matt's here, Teresa's here, you're here, and like I said, everybody is scared, and now fingers are starting to point. All right. In addition to all of that, we're getting a ton of information coming in from everybody's cell phone, because a person loses their cell phone, tosses their cell phone, clears their cell phone, you know as well as I do that information exists on the cloud. So all of these service providers, Google and all of that, they're giving us back all the goods. We have, trails following everybody. You're going to get one opportunity because everybody's pointing at you, Mixie. Everybody is pointing at you. You're going to have one opportunity to put your side of the story out there. Other than that, people that you thought were your friends are not your friends, okay? Don't be fooled, because they are all scared and they're all singing like canaries, all right? They want you to take the whole heat for this, and I know that's not true. You're a young person, and I talked to Grandma for a little while. She told me that you have a little bit of some psychiatric issues that you could take medication for if you chose to. She told me that you're young and you're very easily manipulated. No, that's okay, but that's Grandma's opinion, okay? I didn't bring any Kleenex. What I have for you is a mask. Okay. I'm gonna get you Kleenex. I'm gonna yell out for old what's his name there. Is that okay? All right. Or you can use the jail outfit because they're just gonna wash it anyway.
You were out in front of the courthouse, weren't you?
What?
Whenever all those people surrounded the red car, you were one of the people out in front of the car. I remember.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be.
Right now, you're the only advocate for yourself. And the thing that pisses me off is that I believe without a lot of help, this thing would have never happened. A lot of help and a lot of pressure. None of these people sitting in jail are looking out for you, okay? You have one chance to tell me how this whole thing happened, and mostly I care about who was involved, okay? Because I know it wasn't just you. As a matter of fact, I know who it was and her idea and her pressure and her use of your emotions and your affection to get done what she wanted to do. So this is the thing. I can't make a decision for you. That decision is completely yours. You can choose to talk to me or you don't have to. But if you choose to talk to me, you're going to get your side of it out. All right? Because I already got everybody else's side of it. And I know that if it wasn't for pressure from Tree, this thing would have never happened. Would have never happened. So you tell me what you want to do. I know you're confused. But I can tell you things aren't going to get any worse than they are right now.
I don't see them getting any better anyway.
What?
I said I don't see them getting any better.
Well, right now, you're kind of at a crossroads where you have to make a decision for yourself. Do you want to protect Matt and Theron and Tree? Or do you want to clarify how this thing came to birth? Siri had already told us that this has been an ongoing pressure, ongoing I want to say a plan, an ongoing plan. Everybody who crossed Tree's path heard about what she believed about Alex. Everybody. There's not a single person that I've talked to that didn't know the ins and outs of what she believed was going on between Alex and Sophie.
During their investigation, detectives learned that Teresa had begun a targeted disinformation campaign against Alex, telling friends and coworkers he was abusive toward their daughter. The proven lies were believed to be a premeditated effort to portray him as a dangerous threat, one which needed to be dealt with in the harshest way possible. So while Mixie thinks Teresa's heart belonged to her, it was all the work of a master manipulator leading her to murder.
Do you still love Teresa?
Yes.
How so?
What do you mean?
And do you love her the same that you did? Or is it kind of a love attachment that you're confused by now?
I still love her the same. I always will. That's never gonna change.
Tell me about the best part of your relationship with her.
Just any time that we get to spend together, anytime. I remember shortly before Halloween, her and I took Sophie up to a corn maze, and Sophie kept getting scared by the monsters in the corn maze, so I picked her up and I carried her through the maze. We just all laughed and we had a good time.
You know, when they interviewed Sophie, based on based on the allegations that Teresa made about abuse. When they interviewed Sophie, she actually said that it was Teresa that was hurting her, not her dad. Now, I don't know. Here's the thing. You can say to a kid anything and they start repeating stuff. But I know that didn't work out in Tree's favor. I don't know. I don't know what signs she was displaying that would cause anyone to believe that happened. I don't know what evidence there is to say that either one of them was or was not abusing her. I don't know. Did you see anything?
She started telling, she started throwing up her food all the time, and we didn't understand why, and she would run off to the bathroom, and we would catch her, like, pushing on her stomach, making herself throw up, like, in the middle of meals. And we asked who taught her that, and she said, Bree. And me and Teresa never poked her or pried her or anything. We never really asked her any questions about it. She just started bringing up things on her own that just didn't seem right.
What sort of things did she bring up?
She would tell us that, she was getting hit and kicked over at her dad's, and that, I don't know if anybody was making her say it or what. I don't know. I don't want to say anything about that because I don't know what's true. I don't know what's true. I don't know who was hurting who. I don't know anything.
Did you believe at the time that they were hurting her?
I didn't know what to believe.
I understand that. Police work, that happens to me all the time. Sometimes you just don't know what to believe.
I don't want to waste your time. I'm just talking.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You've got a lot going on, and there's it's a big deal. And based on the interview that I saw of Sophie, I don't know. I don't see any evidence to show that there was any kind of abuse. I just don't see that evidence.
I miss them, I miss Sophie, and I miss Tree. Just want things to be back to normal.
I understand that. I'm not going to shine it up for you and tell you that normal's coming. But at this point, it's about damage control. It's not about getting normal, because I don't believe that normal's coming back. But I do believe that there's damage control. And I think that you're going to have to offset what's going on between Matt and the prosecutor's office. Because Matt wants out of this, right?
Yeah, I don't know Matt that well. He always seemed a bit off to me, so I don't know what's...
Well, he's maybe off, maybe not, but he's right now one of our people that are trying to flip a deal. You know what I mean? And so flipping a deal means that he's throwing everybody he can under the bus to get himself some kind of sweetheart thing. That's out of my arena. That's for the prosecutors to work out. But the problem is they're gonna select the easiest person to flip that deal, and it's going to be between the two people that are blaming it all on you.
While the detective makes it clear that Mixie is being thrown under the bus by Teresa and Matt, she doesn't seem to have much interest in defending herself. But even though he thinks the sad sack routine will save them, never forget, Mixie murderously ambushed a couple in the middle of the night and then left the child she claims to love alone with their bodies. So even though she may just want everything to go back to normal, that ship has long sailed.
I just want to go home.
Do you think you should go home?
I don't know. I know if I go home, that I'm not gonna do anything.
If someone were just say to you, Mixie, go home right now, go home. Would you feel good about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a chance to go to college, to watch my kids grow. I want to be a nurse, man.
What about Matt? You think he should go home? Huh?
I don't know. I don't know what he's done. I don't know what his life is like. I don't know whether he deserves to be here or not.
Well, you know he disposed of the gun, right?
I don't know.
Well, I thought you read everything.
I did. That's what the report says, but just because it's what the report says doesn't necessarily mean it's true. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, the Google records showed us a map of his trails when he went to go toss the gun. He told us where the gun was. We recovered it from the water. I don't think it gets any clearer than that, right? So based on that clarity, does Matt deserve to go home?
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't know?
I don't. Like I said, I don't know anything, and I don't want to waste your time.
I'm not wasting my time.
Like I said, I'm an emotional wreck, and I'm still confused about a lot of things, and this is just not a good time to ask me things.
Are you confused about how you got drug into this? Is that confusing?
A lot of times, yeah.
What?
Like I said, yeah, a little bit, because I don't know. I don't know how
How do you think you got drug into this?
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything.
How'd you get to San Francisco?
I'm backpacking.
Why San Francisco?
I'd never seen the ocean before. I wanted to see the ocean. I wanted to see the ocean, and I wanted to be out. And I wanted to, I wanted to see more of the country. I've seen quite a bit of it now, and I'm happy with that.
Pretty beautiful.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful country. All of it. I used to hate it, but now I realize it's just the people. It's not the land itself. I'm terrified of the police. I always have been, ever since I was a kid. My uncle and my family always, made it a pretty clear point that police aren't to be trusted with anything for any reason. Now I'm older and I've met so many nice ones that I don't even know whether I can believe that anymore.
There's good ones and bad ones out there. That's the truth. But I would say for the most part, police are good people trying to do what they can to, protect people. And that's why I do it. I've always told myself if I don't want to do it and I don't want to follow the rules, I might as well hang it up and find something different to do. And that's actually a promise I made to myself, that if I didn't feel like following the rules and I didn't feel like giving 100% of my effort every single day, do something different. and save my spot for somebody who's willing to do it. So that's why I do it. It definitely isn't for the paycheck, because cops don't get paid diddly.
Isn't it like minimum wage or something like that?
It's a little over minimum wage, but not a whole lot more. It's hard work. It's long hours. It's putting forth everything you have and being exhausted at the end of the day to make ends meet. And the only thing that keeps me coming back day after day is people. That's it.
That's a good reason to do it. And like I said, I wish I could help you. But I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to drag you out with just idle chit-chat. Because that's all I've got is idle chit-chat. That's all I want to do is talk.
Okay, well, you're not bothering me.
Just ain't got nothing important to say. Whatever they said, I don't know. I don't know anything. I didn't even know why they were bringing me down here.
Well, it feels good not to be in the vest thing, right? What is it? A smock?
Yeah, but I mean, it was comfy for a little bit. You get all wrapped up in it and the blanket. I sleep pretty much all day these days.
Really?
Yeah, I never sleep as much as I have since I've been in jail. When I'm outside of here, I'm active, I run around, I take care of myself. I go to the park and I go on jogs. It's kind of hard to do that in here.
Right.
That's why I said, I don't know nothing.
Why do they have so much?
Whenever I got with my second day in the Frisco jail, I tried to myself. I hate being in confined spaces, and the last time that I got in and it wasn't even just that, like I could deal with being in a confined space, but they kind of just plucked me suddenly off the street, and they put me in there, they took my clothes, they took my girlfriend from me, and I just lost it. I have a long history of just, up and deciding it's my time to go. Long history of that.
How'd you?
Water intoxication. I read on the internet a while back, and I had some friends that told me that you could die by drinking too much water, and so I took a little carton of milk and I just filled it up with water, with cup of water after cup of water after cup of water after cup of water. Just kept drinking until eventually I flooded my floor by puking it all back up.
Not pleasant, right?
No. Nothing about this whole thing is pleasant. But,
Based on the creative way Mixie attempted to take their life, it's clear that jail has been a difficult adjustment. But when you kill two people, ending up behind bars is always the most likely outcome. Especially when, like Mixie and Teresa, you do the opposite of laying low. Because not only was audio of the shooting captured on camera, the couple were seen shopping at a Walmart during their weeks on the run. But it isn't as if Mixie didn't know she was being pressured by Teresa, and even confided in friends about her growing fears. On the night of the murders, her friend Harriet tried to talk her off the ledge one final time, but Mixie stopped responding, and when Harriet finally got in touch with her after hearing news of the murders, all Mixie said was, "Sometimes some people have to die." And apparently in Teresa and Mixie's mind, they're the ones who get to decide.
Tell me about telling Harriet about the pressure that you were being placed under by Teresa.
I don't know what kind of pressure. Me and Harriet, I never really came to her with relationship problems about me and Teresa. I came to her with other relationship problems, but never came to her with stuff about Teresa. I called her one night and I was just drunk off. having an anxiety attack. I don't know what. Like I said, I don't want to go into any of this, y'all. I don't know anything, and you guys have got your report made the way that you want to see it. I don't want to.
I know you want it to be over. There's one side, there's a beginning, and there's an end, and then there is the way, that middle part from beginning to end. And you'll have to decide whether you want this end to be here or if you want it to be all the way out there. But the guy that doesn't remember anything, when he already told me that he doesn't lie and has no reason to lie, is not being honest.
I don't want to do this conversation anymore. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take you back upstairs, and if you decide that you want to help yourself, you give me a call, because I guarantee you that playing I don't know games is just gonna get you deeper in, all right? And if you want to do that to yourself, you do it, all right? But right now, you're screwing yourself, okay? All right.
As long as Tree's okay.
Tree's not gonna be okay.
She will.
I don't think so. But I will for sure tell her that you send your regards, okay?
Just let her know I love her. That's all.
The interview was over for now, but wouldn't be the last time Mixie spoke with police. But the next time she steps in the room, a new detective would be waiting, and authorities hope the different dynamic gets her to slip. Because up until now, despite her obvious involvement in the crime, Mixie has been giving them nothing.
Can I call you Mixie, or what do you want me to call you?
I prefer to go by Mixie.
Okay, good. And then, can I ask you what pronouns you like to go by?
She, her.
She, her, mother?
Mother, yeah.
Understood. Are you cold?
No, I'm just shaky.
Okay.
I'm a bit shaky.
Okay.
I don't know why. I don't do drugs or nothing. I'm just...
Yeah. I think it's kind of cold in here. I got a hoodie on, and I'm still cold. But I have a hoodie on all the time. So when did you meet Teresa?
Not too long after I started working at Walmart. I probably met her around June-ish.
Okay.
Like near the end of June, early July. Sometime in between there. But,
You guys, how did you meet?
she just saw me sitting in the lunchroom by myself one day, and she came up and she sat down and started talking to me, and she admitted to me that people said to kind of steer clear of me because I was weird, and she didn't really want to listen to him. She wanted to give me a chance. So
That's great.
We became pretty good friends from there. We pretty much came over to her house crying anytime something bad happened to me.
What were some of the bad things that happened that you confided in her in?
Just, boy problems. Anytime I had problems with dudes or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I was last year, I came to her and I talked to her quite a bit about it because I was really confused and didn't know what to think.
Did you report that to the police?
No.
No. So you were just dealing with that on your own?
Yeah. That's how it's happened anytime that's happened to me in my life.
Oh, man. But Teresa was helping you, right?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You don't gotta be sorry.
How old are your children?
My youngest is 2, my oldest is 3.
What are their names?
Anastasia's the oldest one. Dylan's the youngest one.
Gotcha. Thank you. What kind of mother are you to them?
All locked up. I mean, not much of one. And then I call, and whenever their mom can get them to talk to me,
Yeah, they're still kind of young to talk, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Before I was, I was going to see him I was going to see him once a weekend and stuff like that. Like, I visited him, I think, every Sunday. I was just usually so busy with going to work, and then by the time that I was not working, I didn't really want to go anywhere. So I just took Sunday as the one day I'd come out and see him.
I understand that. The way I think of it is, if you're at Walmart when you're around crowds of people, you don't want to be around crowds of people on your days off. You don't want to go drive in traffic. You just want to stay at home in your zone, That's how I am.
While Mixie's most certainly had a challenging life, it's no excuse to be manipulated into murder. So after a few getting-to-know-you questions, the detective decides it's time to get down to business, because there's only one thing he really wants to know, and Mixie's entire future depends on the answer she gives.
Did you shoot Alex and Brianna?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you know who did?
No, sir. I don't know anything about any of that.
Okay. How did you find out that Alex had been killed?
The news.
The news? What day did you find out on the news?
I can't remember exactly what day. I'm really bad with dates, but it wasn't real long after.
Mm-hmm.
Or I figured it wasn't real long after from the report.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like whenever it all started first being released out on the news.
What did it make you feel?
I didn't know what to feel. I don't know him. Never did know him. I had asked Teresa before if I could get to know him, but I never really got the opportunity to.
Why not?
I don't know. Anytime I asked to meet him and talk to him, she said he wasn't trustworthy and that he just was a bad guy, and so I guess it just kind of deterred from going to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I was wanting to eventually sit down and all of us talk and get all whatever their bad blood was worked out, but it just never worked out that way.
And why was there blood between them?
She told me a lot of things. She told me that she told me he used to beat on her, and he'd tell everybody it was because he had PTSD, but she said he had never been deployed to combat. She told me that he would hurt Sophie. Sophie told me that he would hurt her. I don't know anything. It's all.
What did Sophie say?
There were times where we'd go to pick up Sophie because she got into a habit of bringing me with her to pick Sophie up, and we went out to pick her up, and she would be happy and lucky and stuff like that whenever we first picked her up, but she was always like that when she first saw her mom. And then a couple times after that, she started coming home and telling us, well, I don't like being a dad. Dad's mean. And I was just like, well, why? And she'd tell me stuff like he hit her and kicked her, and she said that he touched her and stuff like that. I don't know.
What does that mean, touched her?
When I touched her private parts. And she told us that, and she started doing this thing where she'd come home and she'd throw up her food, and I never knew why. We offered her everything there was under the sun to see if it was like she didn't like something or if it was an allergy, and anything we tried to feed her, she'd throw it up. And then eventually she started she would start asking at the beginning of meals, hey, can I go to the bathroom? And the first couple of times we were like, sure, and then after a while, it got really suspicious, and Teresa found her in the bathroom during meals after a while, like pushing on her stomach, making herself throw up. And neither of us knew why. And it freaked me out because I've never seen a kid do that before. And I don't know, I hate when little kids tell me stuff like that. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to waste your time. I
Oh,
told
no.
Shannon the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything, and I'm not here to cause anybody problems or waste anybody's time.
Okay, you're not wasting my time. I want to know how you feel about this. So how would you describe Alex as a father?
I wouldn't know. And I never got to meet him or really see him around Sophie. I mean, from the way he talked when he picked her up, I mean, he didn't seem like he was too bad of a guy. Like, he seemed like, you know, he was pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. How did he treat you during the exchanges?
I mean, you know, he didn't really converse with me,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't really converse with him. He was usually pretty nice. I mean, you know, sometimes he'd say, "Hi, how are you?" and I'd wave
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. It was usually a really small, brief interaction, and I didn't know him or any of that.
Okay. What kind of mother is Brianna?
I don't know. I saw even less of her. I never really met her at all.
Okay.
Actually, I had seen her face, and that was about it.
How did you see her face?
She would usually sit in the car right next to us during exchanges.
Was DFS, were they Department of Family Services? How did they handle the situation? Did they handle it effectively, or how do you think of it?
Well, whenever they came out to talk to us, I mean, Teresa had like some papers laid out. She had all kinds of information. She had like old doctors' reports that like showed bruises and stuff that Sophie had had. She had had, you know, months worth of text messages on paper where she had asked Alex for where Sophie was for
Mhm.
3 months, and he didn't tell her. And there was all kinds of stuff, and they didn't really seem to care too much,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what she had to say. Whenever she tried to show them the paperwork, they said, "I'm not going to get involved in your custody battle."
That's what DFS said?
Yeah, which that didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But
Yeah, because that's kind of what they're for, you know?
yeah,
You know, Family Services. Family Services, that's their name. Department of Family Services. You ever think to yourself, I wish Alex would just go away?
no, it was not my place to think things like that.
Did Teresa think that?
I don't know. I mean, she didn't like him.
Mhm.
I knew that. I can't imagine her doing something like that.
Doing something like what? Oh, no, I'm just saying wish. I'm not saying that she did anything. I'm just saying, did you guys ever talk about it and be like, man, I wish this guy would just go away? I wish, how great would my life be if I just had Sophie all the time and didn't have to deal with all his drama?
No, we never really discussed anything like that. Trust me, we liked having a little bit of time away from her because she was a handful. I
Mhm.
mean, I appreciated, you know, that she was still able to see her father and her mother, because my kids, like, they spent all their time around their mom for about the first year of both of their lives. I wasn't around all that much.
Did you not know about the kids, or did you know and just had other stuff going on?
I knew about them, and I just had other stuff going on. I had my head up.
Oh yeah, because you're young, right? How old are you? 20?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not even 21 yet.
So at the beginning of 2020, you were probably a teenager still.
Yeah, I was 19.
Yeah. Okay. So doggone, if they're 2 and 3, shoot, how old were you? 16 or 17 and 18?
Yep.
Okay. When they were born?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so something did happen to Alex. Why do you think someone would harm Alex?
I don't know. I really don't. I have no clue why someone would do that. I mean, to me, there's just nothing in this world that you can do that's wrong enough for someone to play God with you. It's just not fair. Everybody deserves a chance to right their wrongs.
I believe that. Same question about Brianna. Why would someone harm Brianna?
That I know even less about. I have no clue why someone would hurt her. I don't know her. I don't know her life. I don't know anything about her. I've heard a little bit about Sophie since this whole thing, though. I'm glad to hear she's okay.
What'd you hear about Sophie?
Shannon told me that she is, well, I already knew that she was in the custody of her grandparents, but she told me that she is in therapy and that she's doing all right and that she's getting through all this. And I think that's real good. She's a real strong kid, real smart girl, just like her mom.
When it comes to how Mixie thinks Sophie's coping, her cognitive dissonance is astounding. Because there's no world in which a child whose father was viciously murdered just feet away will be anything close to okay for some time to come, if ever again. But despite knowing this, there's one thing she curiously claims not to know: who the real victims of this tragedy are.
Okay, I know this incident has affected several people, but who, like if you had to name like the real true victims in all this, who do you think the real true victims are?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I guess it just depends on how you look at it.
How do you look at it though? I want to know what you think. I want to know what your feelings are on this. I think people have talked to you and they glossed over what you think and what your feelings are, and that's important to me. That's why I'm here.
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm sorry.
Okay. Some people would say that, of course, Alex and Brianna were the true victims. Other people would say Sophie's the true victim. Other people might say, Matthew Plum is the true victim, or you're the true victim, or Teresa, the folks that are incarcerated, are the real victims, but you don't have any.
No.
Okay.
I don't believe it's up to me to decide who the real victim is, and all of it sounds like everybody's got a raw deal.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anyone that you would be suspicious of? Would you be suspicious of Matthew or anyone like that?
I mean, he always seemed a little bit off to me, but I wouldn't see him doing something like that. He seemed like a nice enough guy.
How did you know him?
I didn't know him real well. I knew him mainly through Teresa because she talked about him. She had told me stuff about him on several occasions. Only time I ever met him was whenever we would go make pizza and come back home. Those are the only times I ever saw him. And he's not big on trans people, and I'm not big on rednecks who aren't big on trans people. So we never really, our interactions were always kind of rigid and brief, nothing real.
Yeah, it seems like you get, in Springfield, it seems like you get people that are really hot or really cold, but no people that are just kind of indifferent. They have to, if they're against it, they got to say it for some weird reason.
And I mean, the thing is I can be okay with people who are against it. I've had friends, whenever I first went through my transition, at first they were like, man, I've known you my whole life as this. How am I going to know you as this? And I was like, well, I'll tell you what, whenever you come around, you'll come around. And until then,
yeah,
just respect me as me.
Exactly. And that's what it comes down to, is respect.
Yeah. I think everybody deserves respect.
Definitely. And like I told you the day that I met you, I will treat you with respect, and I wasn't lying. When did you start your transition, if you don't mind me asking? Was it 2020?
I said 1.5 years whenever I had told her, but It's actually been over a year and a half. It was middle of 2019, so it's been almost 2 years. So it's been a bit over a month and a half. I think in either June or July it'll have been 2 years. They haven't had me on my meds since I've been here though, and I really wish they'd give them to me because, like, you know, I need them.
I understand that.
I don't feel right, and I don't feel comfortable in my own skin without them.
I understand that. Because of my testosterone replacement therapy. It just makes even like your moods and emotions feel different. You know?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel a lot better. I'm less angry. I find it's easier to cry instead of just start yelling, because that used to be my go-to as a kid. I'd just start yelling at you if you made me mad. But after I started taking hormones, everything changed. I don't like yelling at people, and I don't really like conflict at all. I try to avoid conflict at all costs if I can.
I know you said Alex did that Sophie told you that Alex did some bad things, and those are truly bad things. If he did those things, those are bad things. Do you think that he deserved to die?
No.
Okay. Why not?
Death just isn't the answer to those things. There's always a better way. I mean, I personally don't think I think people who do stuff like that have been hurt in their life and they need help.
I think that too.
I think anybody who does anything bad in their life has been hurt and needs help and needs somebody to talk to.
Yeah, I do too. And you know what happens? Sometimes those people fall between the cracks and they don't get the help they need. It can be something as far as money, insurance, instability at home, instability in relationships, stress that, just stress that people shouldn't have to deal with, And so then you're going through something and then you have the stress on top of it. There's a cause for every effect. There's a cause for every effect. There's no black and white anymore. There's not bad guy, good guy. It's all grays. It's all grays, and life is hard. Okay. I don't know that you said that Sophie told you anything about Brianna, but did she deserve to die?
No.
Why not?
I can't even say it because, like I said, I didn't know her at all. I knew nothing about her. How am I supposed to say that about somebody that I've never even met before?
Fair enough. That makes sense to me. Mixie, tell me why you couldn't have done this.
Because it's just not me. It's just not a thing that I'm willing to do. It's a dark thing, and it's a really dark path to take. And I was out getting drunk with my friends anyway. And of course, ever since this whole thing, everybody thinks something bad about me, so I don't got really any friends anymore. So, like I said.
Who were you drinking with that night?
I think I'm done with questions, by the way. I think we go back upstairs.
Okay. I think there's a story here. I think you have a story that people don't understand. I'm reading stuff on Facebook. Your stuff's going on Facebook. And people are saying negative stuff about you. They're saying really rotten stuff about you. And I don't think they know the whole story, and I don't think it's fair.
That doesn't matter, man. I just want to go back up to myself.
Okay, you can do that if you like. Thank you for giving me a chance to talk to you. Go ahead and have a seat. I got to call someone to come get you, okay?
While all Mixie wants is to be left alone, considering she committed a double murder, that wouldn't be happening anytime soon. Both Teresa Cox and Mixie Bogle pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder, and both were sentenced to 2 consecutive life terms in prison. Mixie was given an additional year on charges of child endangerment. Matthew Plum pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit a felony and tampering with evidence. He was sentenced to 8 years in prison. Thank you for watching today's video. Whether you're new here or have been with us for a while, check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here, or one of my newest uploads right here.